So while here, upcoming next, distinguished guests, all visitors and exhibitors, right here at the Cybersec Asia and Thailand International Cyber Week 2025. I would like to invite all of you to come and explore more detail on the topic of cybersecurity awareness and culture, empowering government and citizens to protect data. Today we have an honor to welcome expert consultants from National Health Security Office, or NHSO. Could you please join me in welcoming Mr. Aditya Tripathi? Please welcome on stage.
Oh, hi. Well, thanks for the introduction. I am from National Health and Security Office of Thailand. For Thais, it is called as SOPO. I work in the capacity of expert consultant currently, but there's something to my background, so I would like to start with that first. I started my career with something called as Philip Capital. It's a brokerage firm. I was their IT director for about multiple years. After that, I joined Ariel, which is a private equity bank. And I was also consulting at the same time for RN and Advent, which is our subsidiary companies. Then I was a consultant to the Tata Group, and then moved to NHSO currently as their advisor to the board in terms of technology, tech, and digital transformation. So, sorry, there's some technical glitch. So why are we here? So governments all over the world actually face multiple technical risks throughout. Okay, and you know, in 2018, there was the biggest single health hack, which caused a lot of damage to about 1.5 million patients, including Singapore's prime ministers and his data. Moreover, in the colonial pipeline ransomware, the whole US fuel supply was not only disrupted but damaged. So why does this matter? Because, well, citizens' data is something which comes with a lot of trust, and we need to make sure that we cover all the threats as well. And we'll try to address that here, okay? So what is at stake? So personal health records, financial data, national ID, and relevant data. Since majority of the governments are digitizing the data, these all aspects are quite necessary and important. There was a Equifax breach in 2017, which exposed the financial data and costed about 1.4 billion in settlements. And data leak during COVID-19, where majority of government offices were also going remote, caused a lot of issues globally. Now, what are the challenges which we are facing in government organizations especially? So majority of government organizations run on legacy systems. These legacy systems have a lot of issues by default. And there is something which happened in 2017, which is WannaCry ransomware. It's not that I wanna cry; it's the name of the ransomware, which affected majority of the government organizations in 2017. Another thing with government organizations is that they have very limited resource. So they are either constrained by budgets, or the policy changes very quickly and rapidly, or the readiness to accept new cybersecurity challenges is quite less. Moreover, at the same time, they need to make sure that everything is accessible by the public, at the same time being secure. But those are the challenges of the government. In the private side, majority of systems, including hackers, are getting quite sophisticated, for which these systems are not ready at this stage. So the idea is initially start with a cybersecurity first culture where we provide a cybersecurity training. Our ASEAN partner from Singapore, Singapore's cybersecurity agency, has annual drills for that for all of its public based employees, and we also try to prioritize security. So we have a Cybersecurity Implementation Act from 2019, which is quite well implemented right now across all the government organizations. Moreover, in Thailand specifically, we have implemented something called as PDPA, which is Public Data Protection Act. This is a 2022 based act, an equivalent of GDPR from EU. And obviously, there's something called as simple practices where people should refrain sharing sensitive data on unverified platforms. Just talking something in general, sharing some data, there is billions of dollars lost globally to digital scams and data losses. UK alone reported about 1.7 billion US dollars, pounds, and moreover, globally we have lost 1.5% of global GDP to these sort of scams. So the importance of awareness is actually quite high because citizens are not often, but mostly the weakest link in the cybersecurity. And every action, like clicking on a random phishing-based link which you received via simple SMS or weak password, can compromise the system. The Uber, I don't know if you guys used Uber, but Uber data breach, which was in 2022, resulted through a phishing hack. Moreover, the lack of awareness among majority of people led through multiple issues during COVID-19, where they received a message via SMS that they are assigned for a COVID-19 vaccine, but they were not, and when they clicked the link, they lost their sensitive data. So educating citizens is quite necessary. So just talking about some of our partner countries which have good awareness campaigns globally. So in Australia, they have a Australia Stay Smart online campaign where they try to educate about malware and phishing and online fraud. In Singapore, the campaign is similarly named, called as Be Safe. Okay. In UK, it's called as UK Cyber Aware. And coming to Thailand, we not only have one campaign, we have three. First is PDPA awareness. This is actually for companies and corporates. We have collaboration with all the three top telecom providers, including True, AIS, and DTAC, where we try to send the alerts constantly. And there's something called as Thai Cert. We'll come back to Thai Cert a bit later. But before that, I just wanted to show you some data about the population of the world by age group, and there's a very deep connect of this with cybersecurity. So as you can see, majority of our population is about 20, but there is a good chunk which is from 40 to 59 and 60 to 79. And these people are the ones who are not very technically advanced or technically adaptive. So they are in the most vulnerable group because they have less familiarity with the digital technology. Moreover, the second most impacted group is the youth and teenagers, because they are constantly on social media, and assuming not all the links can be avoided. So there are some times when they keep on getting scammed, or they participate in some kind of contest, which is a bogus or fake contest. And remote workers. Remote workers are impacted heavily by ransomware and those kind of things, because they are transitioning from full-time office-based work to remote work, and they have to download new technologies and so on. And these kind of things were not only limited to the pandemic, but they are still happening. Thailand-specific examples. So, Thailand is more on the older side, or is an aging population. So the new cell phone usage or smartphone usage among the elders cause some of these problems quite heavily. Moreover, digital payments through public Wi-Fi or while accessing public Wi-Fi is another region where Thailand gets impacted very heavily. So what would be the first step to protect anything? I believe it would be passwords. And majority of us, hopefully, here in this conference have good, safe passwords, and it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our phone as well. But unfortunately, that's not the generalized case. Some people even have their own first names as their password. So weak passwords are a major cause of breach. 81% of all hacking breach globally is due to weak passwords. Method used to crack passwords are very common among hackers, and with the new GPUs and processing units, it becomes very easy. So there are brute force, there's dictionary, credential, and phishing. Anyone who has used Yahoo, possibly in 2013, your password, if you have not changed it yet, it's still in a data breach because 3 billion Yahoo users' passwords were leaked in 2013. This is how much time it takes to get your password out. So if it's only numbers and it's, let's say, 10 digit, it just takes only 1 hour. If it's lowercase and letters, 2 years. If it's uppercase and lowercase letters, it takes 1 year. Numbers, uppercase, lowercase, 9,000 years. And number, uppercase, lowercase, letters, and symbols, it takes possibly, we might never survive to see anything which is after lowercase. But yeah, that is the time. And so possibly, maybe if you can try having 12-digit passwords so that it takes millions of years to crack. And in the long run, we all would be dead. Moving forwards, these are the most common methods used by people to store passwords. Memorizing it, that's the easiest. Writing on paper, but this one comes with a risk. What if you leave your paper at the office and some nosy colleague of yours accesses your email? Using a password manager seems good, as long as it's a paid password manager. Example, 1Password. Documenting on computer, again, do this only if your computer is really secure. Storing an email, it's not very safe as well. Well, these are some ways to save password. Make it 12 characters long, use a combination. Do not use your name. So if you're making 12 letters, don't use Aditya Tripathi in my case, my own name. Combine unrelated words. Avoid words as they are in dictionary. Change your password. Use a password manager. Obviously, I believe this should be done. Now, coming back to the ecosystem and the government. So we are trying our best to collaborate to create a very secure ecosystem. And this collaboration is not only with corporates or companies or tech companies in particular, but also with the other governments. We have collaborated with Palo Alto, Microsoft, and we are also collaborating with other companies who are having booth here. Moreover, we have APAC cert, which is AP cert, and ASEAN cybersecurity collaboration as well for a regional collaboration. And we are also preparing for emerging threats where there is AI-driven cyber attacks, ransomware, and IoT-based things. I just want to point out IoT and quantum computing risk. There is something called as Eastern Economic Corridor. That one is the most safest economic corridor in Asia at this moment. It's not only backed by Thai cert, it's also backed by Singapore cert as well. So that brings me to cert. What is a cert? So Computer Emergency Response Team. It's something like a police for cyber, but this one is not only just reporting a crime, but also helping you solve it. Okay. US CERT, it operates under Department of Homeland. EU or NHSO CERT is for EU. AP CERT or Asia Pacific CERT is for Asia Pacific. Okay. This is to make sure that there are hubs to monitor, analyze, and respond to cybersecurity incidents. Okay. So now coming to something called as Thai cert. Thai cert is under the Department of Electronic Transaction Development Agency, and it's the National Cybersecurity Agency for Thailand. The key initiative is to coordinate with the global certs and share data, develop public and private sector guidelines, and hosting awareness programs for corporates and individuals. Okay, there are multiple success stories from Thai cert, which, where it really helped mitigate the threats during the Saraburi hospital ransomware thing. Moreover, it makes sure that during COVID-19 pandemic, we did not have any big issue related to cybercrime. This is the global cybersecurity index, where Singapore from SEA or ASEAN region ranks #1. We in Thailand rank #4. Globally, Thailand ranks #35. Okay, and our aim by 2030 is to be in the global top 5 for the cybersecurity index. And this particular assessment is done by International Telecommunication Union. So, we have talked a bunch of things, and the key takeaways from my style would be that cybersecurity is a shared responsibility between organizations and citizens. But at the same time, governments are working heavily and proactively to empower the citizens and adapting proactive measures where they are also collaborating with other companies and countries, and they are learning from global examples. There are success stories like Singapore and Thailand where there are awareness campaigns which are working and which are heavily implemented in record times. Moreover, the approach is keeping AI and all the other future based upcoming tech in mind. So I would just leave the stage open for questions before I end. Anyone wants to ask anything or wants to have a chat later or something, we can do. Moreover, we are looking for technical partners. So if there is something which you can send me about your company or anything, please feel free to send it on my email. That's my email. So if your company is in the cyberspace and wants to get in touch with National Health Security Office of Thailand, get in touch and we'll surely talk. and try to figure out how can we move forwards and make Thailand and ASEAN a more cyber secure space. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Move on to the next topic. We would like to request your feedback, and we will have the conference survey that's going to take just only a few minutes of yours. Your feedback is valuable for us because then we can improve for our next event. เมื่อสักครู่นี้นะคะเรามาพูดถึงเรื่องของ Cybersecurity Awareness กันนะคะว่าการตระหนักรู้ในเรื่องของวัฒนธรรมนะคะทางด้านความมั่นคงปลอดภัยทางไซเบอร์ก็จะช่วยสร้างเสริมศักยภาพนะคะได้แก่ทั้งภาครัฐแล้วก็ภาคประชาชนในการที่จะปกป้องข้อมูล Data สำคัญต่างๆนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นการสร้างองค์กรนวัตกรรมนะคะที่ให้ความสำคัญเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของความมั่นคงปลอดภัยเน้นการสร้างวัฒนธรรมที่ทุกฝ่ายจะต้องมีส่วนร่วมนะคะในการช่วยกันแล้วก็แน่นอนว่าในเรื่องของความท้าทายเกี่ยวกับภาครัฐการสนับสนุนแนวทางปฏิบัติของภาครัฐเองนะคะก็จะต้องมีความปลอดภัยนะในทุกระบบด้วยรวมไปถึงแล้วความร่วมมือในการที่จะสร้างระบบนิเวศดิจิทัลก็เป็นสิ่งที่จะต้องเกิดขึ้นนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นทั้งภาครัฐภาคเอกชนแล้วก็นะคะภาคประชาสังคมทั้งหมดในระบบในองค์กรนะคะเพื่อที่จะสร้างกรอบความมั่นคงปลอดภัยทางไซเบอร์ให้เกิดขึ้นอย่างมีประสิทธิภาพนั่นเองค่ะ